Hey everybody, today's job has been clearing this fence line. In the midst of this trees, there is a 5-string cattle fencing. This fence line is going to be a part of the fencing that we do where we have our sheep going through the pasture. So what we need to do is we need to put up electric fencing along this fence line. The reason for that is even though we do have 5-string cattle fencing, there's still space big enough for some of our dogs to go through, and some of our dogs are about the size of what a coyote is, and so we don't want a coyote to come here or another kind of predatory animal to come through the fencing and mess with our sheep that we are bringing onto the property. We are bringing full-grown sheep as well as several lambs, so we want to make sure that they're safe. So besides just the cattle fencing, we are also going to be putting in electric fencing. Alright everybody, JT and I have finished the clearing of the fence line. This fence line is what separates the front 10 acres of pasture and the back 10 acres of pasture that we have. The sheep will initially be on the back 10 acres of pasture with us. So we had to clear out the fence line some to be able to put in the electric fencing. So like I said previously in the video, so that way like coyotes and other predatory type animals can't come in and affect our sheep. But I have JT here with me because I want him to kind of go over some of the tools that we used in the clearing of the fence line.
All right, guys, how you doing? I'm gonna go over this equipment. My family owns a lawn service landscaping business, and that's what I've done since I was 5. So this is stuff that we used for forever, and it's all Stihl products. You can find those dealers pretty much everywhere. But the power head that I used, it's a Stihl KM94R. It's the exact same one we use, and they last a real long time, you know, on lawns all day long, getting abused. So it's the commercial grade one. It'll last me forever because I'm not going to use it that much. It is what they call a split boom, which actually allows you to take off the implement or whatever you want to call it and switch it out. So there's that. And the first thing I went through on the fence is basically what I call a chainsaw on a stick. And the reason I like to use this is a lot of the trees are like have limbs all the way down to the ground, and you can't really get in there and cut real close. So you can cut them in half and then worm this in there and cut real close. And then also it's a lot safer. You're not nearly as close to the chain. If you cut yourself with one of these, you're a special person. And also, since we're clearing fence line, it's got barbed wire, and you got to be careful because it'll cut it. But also, there's potential for, if you're using a regular chainsaw and you hit wire, that can be bad. It can kick back and hit you with a chain. So yeah, that's what we use. We use this like I said, on lawns. I've used it forever. So I bought one of those before we moved up here, brand new. And then the other thing, I went back at the end and kind of cleaned up all the vines and everything. It's just hedge clipper attachment. Same one we use down in the yards and everything, and you can really abuse them. You can cut through trees as big around as your pointer finger or mine fairly easily, and they take a lot of abuse. So yeah, that's basically what we've gone through, and the reason we're wanting to clear the fence line is, one, make it easier to put the electric wire on, but also you want the wire to be clear and not have what they call a heavy load on it. You don't want a lot of green stuff with moisture touching it because it'll draw down the voltage. So we want to get a good clean start, and then after that we'll have a real hot fence, and that'll actually kind of burn off any vegetation that touches it. So, yep, that's about it.
All right, guys. Hope you learned something. And if you have any questions about the equipment we used or anything like that, you can definitely drop a comment below, and I'll be happy to answer it. See you later.